What's up guys, this is Dennis with Luke Zion Jewelry. So today I'm going to be talking about something that I have been working on getting for quite some time now. I finally got it, and so I did provide some very valuable information in this video. So if you have other stuff to do, like watching a cat video, that's fine, go ahead, but I do recommend you watch this whole video in full all the way to the end. That way you get the most out of it and the most valuable information. Alright guys, so if you're new here, make sure you click that like button, that subscribe button. My name's Dennis, I'm the owner of Luke Zion Jewelry, and we talk about all solid sterling silver jewelry. So let's get started. What's the update? What's going on? Why am I making this video? And so the reason for this video is because I am improving the quality of the chains, whether it be the rope chain, whether it be the Miami Cuban link, whether it be the Franco. And so what's being improved is the jump rings. So if you don't know what a jump ring is, here is a B-roll so you can take a look at it. So you guys all seen these jump rings on your chains if you bought them from me or you have bought from other retailers or sellers. Most likely your chain has a jump ring, okay? And so why is this important? Why is this a big deal? And so the fact is this: I've bought many different chains, whether it be from luxury retailers or online sellers, and even from countries, whether it be in Europe and Mexico and Peru and Indonesia. A lot of these jump rings are not soldered together. They're very close and very tight, but they're not soldered together. And so until now, my chains as well, they have not been soldered together. And so that's the update that I'm giving to you guys now. I went ahead and bought a machine, almost $3,000. That way I can add the improvement of quality to all my chains, okay? The jump rings are pretty strong. They're very strong actually, okay? So they're meant to be put together for a reason, and regardless if you take off the chain, pull it, put some pressure on, it's not supposed to come off, right? That's how strong the jump rings are, right? But there's been some occasions, there's been some times, there's been some stories that a lot of pulling, a lot of tugging, the jump rings come off. And so that's one of the reasons that I decided to buy this machine and weld them together, okay? So there's multiple ways to do it. One of the ways is by fire, which is more of a traditional way. And so let me just share my thoughts on when it comes to the fire and welding it and soldering it that way. As you know, there's a metal piece inside a spring. There's a metal spring inside the clasp, okay? And so it's not silver and it's not gold, okay? It's some cheap metal that's inside the clasp. And so what happens is, since the jump ring is very close to the clasp, when you add a lot of fire to it, it can damage the spring, meaning the life of the spring will not last you very long, very far. It might last you a few months or maybe a year or two, compared to not welding it with a fire. And let me explain. This is not always the case, but you know, there's a percentage that could affect it, and let me tell you why. Gold and silver act very well with heat, as you know. It's very strong and durable, but when it comes to these other type of metals, what happens is they snap, right? And since the spring is very small and thin, it's so easy for the fire to kind of melt it or kind of deteriorate it, and it's just gonna snap because you're trying to, when you use the spring, you're putting pressure on it to act a certain way, to bend a certain way. And so if you continue to do it, it's gonna break easier because it's already been in contact with so much fire and heat that damaged the spring, right? So what I went ahead and did is I bought a precision welder. It's very precise when it comes to welding specific points. And so there's electricity, high electricity that comes through that little pinpoint there and touches the silver metal and welds it together. So that way there's no problems in the future saying that it broke or that the jump ring moved sides and then the chain came off, right? That's why I'm doing this, guys, to improve the quality of my jewelry. And so look, here's the thing. I sold a sterling silver Cuban link to my brother. Okay, I sold a heavy one. I think it was around a 10 millimeter, and it was a 24-inch. And so within a few months, my brother calls me and he's like, hey, he's teasing me. He said, hey, what's going on? Like, with the chain you sold me, it broke. It's like cheap quality. What happened? And I'm like, oh, what happened? What are you talking about? He's like, well, it broke on me. I'm like, okay, well, send me a picture. Let me see what happened. What's going on? And so he sends me this picture, and it looks like the jump ring came off. It didn't break. It came off because it's bent a certain way. And so he's teasing me, letting me know, it's like, oh, the quality, I'm gonna do a review and so on. This is my little brother, by the way. So I went ahead, got the chain, I fixed it for him, I repaired it, went ahead and asked him some questions because I was curious as to why that happened. Out of so many years that I've been selling silver, I haven't had that really happen to me, okay? And so I told him, and I asked him, and by the way, this was a few years back, and I asked him and I said, were you fidgeting with the chain? Were you taking it off and swinging it? Were you wearing the chain and then just putting your hand all over it and putting it in your mouth and while you're wearing the chain? And so, because I noticed some of the things that my brother does, yeah, he lets me know, and he's like, all kidding aside, it's like, yeah, I was fidgeting with it, I was putting it in my mouth, I was kind of pulling on it, I did take it off and swing it all around my finger and then swing it all the way back. And so the truth came out, right? And so it's happened to me in the past as well with some customers. They say, hey, the chain broke. I'm like, well, what do you mean the chain broke? And so they send me some pictures, and it's like, oh, the jump ring just came off. Okay. And so I get the chain back, I repair it for them, and so when I take a look at the chain at the end of the tip, you can see that it's bent. There's no way that the jump ring is coming off without pressure, right? And so, guys, and it just goes to show there's some people that like to take care of their stuff better than others. Like, it's normal. That's just the way it works. Like, some people like to take care of their chains every single day. Some like to do it every year. So, I mean, it really depends on the person, right? For example, like, some people like to buy the sneakers, the newest sneakers out there, the ones that are the most expensive, whether it be the Nikes or the Yeezys. Some people buy it just to have it in their bedroom, just sitting there as a trophy. And some people actually like to wear the shoe, right? But God forbid there's a smudge in the shoe, and they go ahead and buy a $100 kit on Amazon to remove the smudge. But then there's the other person that they see the smudge and they're like, yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. It's a shoe. I'm okay. It's not a big deal, right? So I'm not saying that to bash on anyone, but that's just the reality of it, right? There's some people that take care of their chains more. There's some people that don't take care of their chains. There's some people that pull on their chains. Like, for example, myself, I wear the chain and I rarely touch it, right? Let's use my brother example. He wears the chain, he's always touching the chain, right? Like, he's always holding it with his hand and kind of pulling it all the way to maybe his mouth, or taking it off and spinning it, or whatever it may be. Like, that's just the way some people are. Like, and so it goes the same way. Like, I have some 14 karat gold chains, and honestly, I throw them on the table from time to time. My silver chains, I throw them on the table time to time. That's just the ones I take care of the most are the 18 karat chains that I have. Those are a little bit softer. They get scratched up much easier, and so I don't want no gold being chipped off. But but there's some other people that like their 14 karat gold chains that they put it on plastic baggies, and they polish it every day, and they clean it every day, and so on and so forth. And so everyone, you do you, right? You do you. Whatever fits for you, your style, your design. Like, I'm all for that. You take care of the chains the way you want to take care of them, right? But when it comes to the jump ring, guys, I just wanted to solve this issue because I noticed that a lot of the manufacturers are not welding these silver ones. Alright guys, so if you have purchased a chain from Luke Zion Jewelry, leave a comment below. Let me know how you like the quality of the chain. I am adding an additional improvement to the quality of chain. So I would love to hear you guys. I am going to be responding to many of your guys' comments. So leave a comment. Again, if you purchased a chain from Luke Zion Jewelry, leave a comment below, just letting me know and letting others know how you like the quality of the chains. At the end of the day, guys, I wanted to just improve the quality of the chains and improve what I'm selling. I want you guys to be comfortable wearing the chain, even if you, like my brother, fidget a little bit with it, put it in your mouth and swing it or whatever crazy stuff you got to do with the chain. You're going to be okay.